What's up? What's up? I told you guys I'd be right back with a little bonus Ice Coach Corner this week. I've been going too long for me not to touch on the NBA. You know, I've done my football, I did my playoff picks, I did my national championship pick, but I have to talk to you guys about my beloved National Basketball Association, and there's a lot of things going on. I can't even get into everything on this show, but I'm going to get into a few things right now, and I'm going to start where I'm at in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Lakers and them looking absolutely stinky right now. Absolutely stinky. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Los Angeles Lakers by no means. Okay? We got Kobe Bryant, who is he's not on the decline. I don't want to say that because he still easily throws up 30 in a game. Why? I shouldn't even say that. Not even easily. It's not driving to the basket, getting to the cup, getting easy buckets nowadays. It's more of a jump shot. Based offensive attack from him, fall aways, things of that nature. He doesn't have the explodability that he used to have at one point. He'll catch you every now and then, but I don't like what I'm seeing out of him. I definitely don't like what I'm seeing out of Ron Artest. He looks terrible right now. Paul Gasol, I think, is their best player, and I think he's kind of slowed down a lot from the beginning of the season. And I just don't see the hunger from the new guys that I thought would help this team coming into the season, the Steve Blakes and the Matt Barnes. I thought they'd be hungry to get their first ring, in which they probably are, but they're not playing with that sense of urgency that I thought they'd play with. Shannon Brown has been the one consistent on this team coming off the bench and putting up buckets. But other than that, I mean, you never know what you're getting from night to night. I mean, they've had home blowout losses to the Milwaukee Bucks, to the Miami Heat, and to the Memphis Grizzlies. And not just losses. I mean, they've gotten smacked. He got smacked on the road by the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, it's not what you want to see out of a team that's trying to go for 3 championships in a row and was considered by pretty much everybody to be the best team in basketball coming into the season. With all that negativity said, I still believe they are the best team in the Western Conference. I still believe that they'll get to the NBA Finals when it's all said and done. Although not having home court advantage, what it looks like is going to be the case, is not going to be a good look for them. They need home court advantage. Home court in the playoffs, and especially in the NBA Finals, is major. Major. It's really the deciding factor, in my opinion, more times than not. So they need to pick it up now and in a hurry. And I did say they're the best team in the Western Conference, and I do mean that. And I didn't say that they were the best team in the NBA, because I do mean that. There are 3 teams in the East that I think are better than the Los Angeles Lakers, and you put them in a series with them right now, and they'll take care of business. One of them being the Miami Heat, who have been absolutely impressive. People laughed at me at the beginning of the season when I said, hey, don't worry about the struggles that they got going on. I know it's embarrassing. I know it's ridiculous, but I still see them making the NBA Finals. This team offensively is too dynamic to be this average. That's back when they were 9-8, and they've lost 1 game since then. I think there's something like 27-8 or something since that point. I mean, they've been absolutely phenomenal. The offense has picked up. They've learned to run a little bit more. But the thing that's really been impressive is their defensive effort night in and night out against teams. They're shutting teams down when they have to. I saw a perfect example last week when I was watching them against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors hit 70% of their shots in the first half. They hit something like 80, or excuse me, not 80, but 8 3-pointers in the first half. Darrell Wright, Monte Ellis, they were on absolute fire. They had the Heat down by 20 at the half. The Heat come out of the tunnel in the halftime after the half, and they absolutely flick a switch on the defensive end and shut everything down. I mean, it was impressive to see a team commit to the defensive end like they did. Being a coach, being a lover of the game of basketball, it's actually a thing of beauty. Will they be able to keep this up, and will that translate into postseason wins? We'll see. They still have the problems going up against point guards. They still have problems going up against a team with numerous big men as far as rebounding and defending in the post. But I really like the team defense that they're putting out right now. I think they're tied for the best record in basketball. I said at the beginning of the year, home court advantage for them would be major. And I still believe that. LeBron is playing phenomenal. D-Wade is starting to get healthy. He's putting the ball in the bucket. I really, really like what I'm seeing out of Miami. In Boston, they were the team that everybody at the first 3 weeks of the season was saying nobody's going to beat Boston. Miami can't beat Boston, and that's still yet to be proven. Miami has not been able to beat Boston so far this year, but they also haven't played Boston now that they've gotten things under control a little bit. So that's going to be an interesting matchup when they play each other. But you talk about team defense, you talk about teams playing as a team, and a thing of beauty, you've got to talk about the Boston Celtics. They are playing not as great as they had at the beginning of the season, but still, if you watch them, their commitment to defense is like no other. The way they run Ray Allen off of screens, the way Rajon Rondo runs the offense and sets up the rest of his teammates with some ridiculous assist numbers this year has been an absolute thing of beauty. They're one thing that may hamper them, and what I said at the beginning of the year could be a problem when they were running up and down and they were looking great. I said I want to see them in February, March, and April, and May play this same way, be this healthy. And it's kind of bit them a little bit already. Shaq has sat out games here and there, although I think that's part of the plan of having Shaquille O'Neal, making sure he doesn't play every game, giving his body time to rest so he's at full strength going into the playoffs. However, Kevin Garnett's calf injury is not anything to sneeze at. That could be very serious. We've seen him in an injured state when they kind of don't know what to diagnose it as. He missed the whole playoff and the whole half a season one time before that. So that's a great concern. Rajon Rondo had an ankle injury. He seems to rebound from that just fine. But the whole point of it being is this is an older team. And over the grind of an 82-game schedule and then eventually another 20 to 25 games in the postseason, you want to see if they'll be able to hold up to that grind that is an NBA season and a run for a championship. It's still yet to be determined. I love to see it. I love to see how they respond from this, and we'll see what happens. Right now, head-to-head, I think that they are not better than the Miami Heat. I think Miami will beat them, but I can't wait till they play each other, and then eventually, hopefully, I pray to God they play each other in the NBA playoffs. That would be monumental. Going for the other teams as I close down this little NBA recap real quick that are making noise out there. The San Antonio Spurs, the second best record in all of basketball. They've suffered 2 losses in the last 2 nights in New York and in Boston. That has Greg Popovich absolutely out of his mind with the defensive effort that they're putting out there. Now, I'm not totally sold on San Antonio. The same concerns that I have with Boston as far as health and age, I have the same ones with the San Antonio Spurs. I've been really impressed by the way they've jumped out of the gates. But I want to see Manu hold up. I want to see what Tim Duncan is going to provide. I want to see DeJuan Blair, what he's going to be able to do, and Tony Parker as well. Gary Neal's playing great. George Hill as well. They're playing great basketball. But I want to see these guys continue this later into the season. So we'll see what happens with that. The Orlando Magic, they made major trades, the biggest trades of the season so far. They totally revamped their roster, and they've taken off since then. Gill, Agent Zero, whatever he's going by right now, I want to see what he gives them later on as the season goes. I know he's working his way in there, but I want to see him just be that scorer that Vince Carter never could be. Hedo Turkoglu is playing pretty good ball, revitalizing himself, coming back to Orlando. So you got to like what you see out of him in that respect. Dwight Howard, his offensive game seems to be improved. I just always liked Orlando. I've liked the depth that they have. Ryan Anderson, J.J. Redick, Jameer Nelson coming off the bench, Brandon Bass. I've always liked what they brought to the table. It's always been able, if they can mentally get over the hurdle of getting past the Boston, getting past Los Angeles, and now they got to deal with the Miami Heat. Also look out for Chicago and what they've got going on. Derrick Rose is playing phenomenal. He's at an MVP level. They've got Carlos Boozer back from injury at the beginning of the season. He's been playing pretty good so far. And once they get Joakim Noah back from his injury, that's going to make them a real contender. I mean, I don't want to say that they don't have a chance of winning the NBA championship because, you know, that'd be asinine. Anything can happen. I think they're a top 4 team. I don't know if they'd be able to go into Miami, go into Boston, or necessarily go into Orlando and beat them in a Game 7 on their home court. So they've got to get that record right so they can have home court in at least one of those possible series. But they're a very dangerous team. Derrick Rose is hard to guard at any time of the game, but especially down the stretch when he can drive to the basket. His jump shot is improving. You got to like what you're seeing out of him. All right, so watch out for those teams. The other teams, Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki's hurt, losing Caron Butler, that hurt as well. But there's a lot of things going on in the NBA. That was just a little taste of some of the things I've got to say. You guys check me out. Ice Coach Corner is back. I'm coming back every week, trying to at least, to give you guys my opinions and how I'm feeling about the world of sports. I hope y'all enjoy it, baby. I'm a holler.